Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the GrapHER Club podcast. In today's episode, we are going to meet Justina. She is the founder of Saddle Shifts. I don't think you want to miss her story, so you better stay tuned in this one. Hi, everyone, and let's welcome Justina. She's our new guest for today's show. So, how are you? What's everything going?
Hello, hello. Yeah, it's going great. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm very happy to be and share the space.
We are very happy to have you here, and we're also very thrilled to hear about your story because I know that every uh, member of this community will be inspired by your story. So let's get things started, and I will ask you the first question, and is to make a quick introduction about yourself. It can be professionally or personally, whatever you want.
Okay, then I'm Justina, originally from Lithuania, but been traveling quite a lot in the last 10 years. And yeah, I'm a sociologist by training, but at the moment I'm working in mostly doing research and working in intersection between the human behavior, mental health, and the technology. Just trying to learn and understand how technology impacts our lives and how we can make this interaction better and healthier for us.
It's awesome. And I think that your journey into Web3 is very unique because you're blending your passions for technology, research, and also mental health and travel. So, can you share what inspired you to become a digital nomad and how it shaped your career in Web3?
Yeah, actually, and that's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah, like a lot of things that actually influence my journey being here and also the way of how I live. That, yeah, like I wouldn't call myself a digital nomad. I'm more like a semi-digital, semi-nomad because I spend half of the year, like at least trying to spend in one place. But the other part of the year, I'm just traveling with my camper van normally. And yeah, and working remotely from there. I think just like my own desire of exploring cultures and trying to understand how people live in different places like really motivated me to move and travel, but in the same time I'm quite strongly involved in the digital communities and web3 space. Then I love to work, and I'm happy that this space allows us to work remotely and pick the spots where we can do that. Then I would say that.
It's really awesome to hear that you were working from your camper van, and I think that that's something that not many people like are very bold to do so. And maybe you can share with us what are some of the key benefits and challenges that you've experienced working remotely in Web3, and if you can compare to more traditional environments that you may also have experimented before.
Sure. Then, of course, like the biggest benefit is the freedom that it allows you to move around and just like be in beautiful places, like work maybe in the beach or like work in some environments that like normally you wouldn't be able to do it if you work in traditional setting or office or so. But of course, it comes with a lot of challenges. Then I would say like for me, the biggest one is like it's good to maintain the activity that you do, like produce something but like that you already did before, or just like something that like you creating, like you have a structure in place, but it's very hard to innovate. At least for me personally, just like create new things or learn is quite difficult because just a fact of like waking up in the morning, opening the doors, and you in the nature, like the thing what you want to do is to go out in the nature. You don't really want to sit and spend long hours in the laptop. Then I would say like that's like one of the biggest challenges from actually the camperman part. But the remote work itself, I feel that just being in the Web3 space in general, like at least for me, it's like so exciting because there's so many new things happening, and sometimes I catch myself like after like I don't know maybe 8 hours of working, I still stay like 2, 3, or 4 hours just exploring and just trying to like learn new things, and then you just look and just maybe stay like 10 or 12 hours at the laptop. And I feel that this really can affect like our well-being in general. Like sometimes we abandon like different aspects of our life and we just really focus in work because it's so exciting and interesting and beautiful to be part of the communities and yeah, and just like do this thing together with others.
It's awesome. I really am inspired by doing this type of things where I think that connecting with the nature is something that we really have to do so, because in Web3 there is like a lot of things going on, so it's really good to have like your feet on earth and just being in the nature and also working. Part of this, you are the founder of a very interesting and lovely project called Subtle Shifts. I really want the community to know about this project because what you've told me is that it's a project focused on mental health within the Web3 space. So I think that we can start with the question of why do you think mental health is such an important topic in Web3, even perhaps on more um, present in Web3 than in other industries.
Yeah, then I think it's a good place to start is actually with my own a little bit of personal journey in that. That I was a founder before, like 2 years ago, and I worked a lot of like raising money and just like really being involved and like going to a lot of events and so on. Then I had a big burnout. And then I needed to leave the space and I thought that like I won't be able to work for some time and so on. Like it really made me realize that like how important is to take care about yourself because like I really pushed a lot of my limits. And yeah, and then I took break for a few months and then I came back, but like really with this question, like to understand if there is other people who feel similar way like I did, and also if yes, like how we can support them. Then I started like actually this project was born like after quite a bit of my research of like talking with people, doing studies and trying to understand like what is the state of the mental health in Web3 at the moment, like how contributors are feeling by being an organization, how healthy are their work culture. And I found out quite a bit of things that like just as a general narrative, like mental health is not prioritized. We're building technology, we're building something new, we're trying to create like a new, beautiful world, but the attention is more in the tech part, is less in actual people who are building, who are behind the scenes. Then yeah, when like now I'm coming back to the space really with this mission of like focusing in people and trying to help them to understand how important is the self-care and like well-being. And then if we all as a collective are healthy, then we can build a great technology afterwards.
It's totally true what you're saying. We do not prioritize mental health, and I can say that because I am part of a lot of projects, and I think that I'm also getting to the part of being burned out. So I really want to know about subtle shifts. Can you tell us a little bit more about the details of how does it work and how we can be part of this?
Sure. Then this still like very new project, but it has like few different aspects and domains. Then one is education. Then the thing what I'm trying to provide is for individuals also and for the communities or organizations is just organizing workshops and interactive activities where spread information about like how to take care about yourself, your teammates, how to understand like what is the general energy in your team, and just try to capture this like small things and like just understand like how actually your team members feel. And yeah, just basically providing tools for people to yeah just take care about themselves first. And then that's the educational piece, and other side is events. Then I also started to work with some organizations who are organizing side events next to the conferences and so and just like help them to design healthier events. Actually quite interesting examples were in Singapore, the place where we met, that there was already some of the events that focusing on like I don't know maybe going for the run or going in ice baths or doing something a little bit different and alternative than regular drinks or going in a party in the evening. That yeah, I'm trying to work with organizations and just like kind of help them to design more holistic events that can help people to connect with each other in more authentic way, but at the same time be healthier and just better for their well-being.
Wow, I think that these type of activities or side events are very necessary in the Web3 space. When we met in Singapore, I was burnt out. I was just with my social battery off. I couldn't meet any more people because I was very like stressed about the whole thing that was going on. So I think that subtle shifts are really the thing that we need. So we are very eager to hear about what else is coming from that. But I really want to know, what do you hope about subtle shifts? What do you want to achieve, and how do you see it helping contributors in Web3 prioritize their well being while continuing to innovate?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I think my overarching desire is to help to build better organizations with the person-centered approach. That the contributors that they would be the first ones, that they are ones who actually can, I don't know, like even set their own working hours or just like be okay with prioritizing themselves. Because I feel that's the like a lot of organizations and being built, they coming from this like traditional approach, like maybe somebody was a web 2 like startup founder and now they're founding something web 3, and they still have the same mindset that okay, we need to hustle a lot, we need to work long hours, we need to ship very quickly. And I understand, and it's like something what like space requires in a way to keep up with maybe competition and so, but still like taking into account the people who build the technology and people who are in your team. Like this is the part that I would like to see the change. And I hope that my project could contribute to that. And I want to connect with more of like mental health professionals and people who work with human and just try to bring them to the space as well, and try to co-create this project together. Because I feel that like maybe I starting it, but it's something what like I want to have more people involved who can bring more knowledge and ideas, like how we can create a better future for all of us.
I think this is a great space if anyone that is like specialized in mental health could reach Justina, because I think that really a collective project can go like farther, and you are the founder of this project, and I'm sure that if people that are here interested in that can just come up with you and they can talk to you and just be part of this project, I think that that would be great. So I'm extending the invitation for yourself and on behalf of you, I mean, to the community, so maybe they can like be build this thing bigger than it actually is. So I think that that's awesome. I really want to make a quick question about where are you now? What are you doing now? So I think that the audience would like to know what are you planning to do in this month that it's actually going to be DEF CON, and if there's something that Subtle Shifts is planning to do on this event in Thailand.
Sure. Then at the moment I'm in Chiang Mai in Thailand, and yeah, and we're organizing a pop-up city. It's called Lapang. Then yeah, it's going to start from 21st of October, and yeah, and we'll go for 3 weeks. And also like we're planning to organize few events with the subtle shifts as well. It's more like a healthy events of just like going for the nature walks and so. Then they're coming up. Then yeah, just like feel free to follow my Twitter, like Twitter of subtle shifts, and from there, yeah, you will see like the updates. And so, but yeah, we're planning to organize a little event there. And of course, like DEF CON is coming up. Then yeah, let's see what it brings. But yeah, I just would be happy to contribute also and just see how things unfold.
Oh, great, great. I think that the community will be very happy to follow your account on Subtle Shifts, and of course, you to just be sure about what are the upcoming activities that are with the nature and with the culture in itself, if they are in Thailand, because I know that there's a lot of community from GrapHER Club that are going there, so it could be really cool if they can do something with Subtle Shifts. So, right now we can go into our next section that is about gender and inclusivity in Web3. So, you've been involved in various and different crypto events and gatherings. The first one we've met in Singapore. So, how do you see the representation of women in these spaces? And do you feel that there has been any progress in promoting inclusivity at such events?
Yeah, I feel in general like Web3 is quite inclusive as a space, like in comparison with like a traditional tech, like Web 2 tech. I feel that it's already better from the ground zero. But still, of course, like just a fact that like a lot of projects, a lot of technology is highly technical, like it attracts more men and just like it's still like men dominated field. But I'm very happy to see more female founders and also beautiful organizations as Herdao or SheFi that really work towards education and towards like bringing more women and not binary people in the space. then I feel that like if more of these organizations will come up, like we can make the space even more inclusive than it is now. But I feel that like a general narrative is good and like we're moving in the right direction. But of course, like it takes time, like with anything.
It takes time. It really is true. And what type of advice would you give to anyone that is attending their first crypto or Web3 event, especially when they are navigating in an industry that can sometimes feel male dominated?
Yeah, I would say maybe, what could be a good advice? Find a buddy. I think that's always good to find somebody to share the experience with. Like if you manage it to just go to some event and you find someone or like either other girl or just like I know somebody who looks like an interesting person and just like can share this experience with them because then you can go to the events together and so on. Just like it doesn't feel that intimidating. But of course, like if that's not possible or you still don't know people, just ask questions. I think that's also a good way of doing it. Like if you see that somebody building things and then you are curious but feel maybe a little bit intimidated that you don't know like maybe enough or you don't know like what they're doing, because like nobody knows everything. Like there's in space going on like so many things, but just don't be afraid to ask questions and learn. I think that's like the biggest value of the conferences or any type of gatherings in Web3 space. Like really is a learning experience. Then just immerse yourself in it. But at the same time, don't forget to take care about yourself. Get good food, a little bit explore the culture. Because it's beautiful. Like all these events are held in like nice, interesting locations. Then just like walk around, instead of taking maybe a taxi or so, just like take a walk and see what's around. It's a good way to softly take care about yourself.
I really like the subtle activities that you can do to just to have like a balanced personal experience in these type of gatherings and events. And I think that this is like one of my favorite parts of this podcast is about the message or advice that you would like to give to anyone that's watching this episode. And I want to be specifically towards into the people who are struggling to balance personal well-being with professional ambition. So, especially in this fast pace like Web3, what advice or message would you like to share that's also tied to subtle shifts type of motto that they have and you have in your vision?
Yeah, I think like one aspect that is very important is to don't forget to set your own boundaries. And I know that is difficult sometimes, especially when there is peer pressure and you feel that like everybody, let's say like they're working long hours and you feel that you also need to do the same. You need to be connected all the time. Like especially when we work in a space that there is like so many time zones, we all around the world, our teams are distributed. But just taking the ownership of your own time and your own energy is not only improves your own mental health or like your own well-being, but also you will set an example that if you are the first person who starts like and says, okay, maybe from this hour, like I stop working, I won't be online. You can inspire someone else in your team to do the same. And then you are catalyst for a better change than just a fact of thinking outside of yourself that you support yourself, but at the same time you support the collective with this action. Then that would be my advice for anyone who's struggling.
I think that this was an interesting episode and very I am eager to see what subtle shifts can bring to us in other events and in the upcoming future. So I really have to say thank you so much for this because I am really hopeful about your projects, your visions, and of course your professional growth. So let's keep in touch and maybe if you would like, you can give like a few words to just say goodbye in this episode, but I'm really happy to have you here. And I think that we will see each other on another IRL event, hopefully. And thank you. You can count with the GrapHER Club community to just do any projects that you would like and to just be here presenting any idea that comes up to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting. Yeah, it's actually the first time I'm in a podcast. This is a new experience. But yeah, I think just a fact of like having these mediums to share. that is not only Twitter, it's not only social media that I'm not that great at. But just like talking with real people and yeah, just like meeting in events and so is beautiful, and connecting with other women who are doing amazing things. And I think like your project, like really having this podcast and interviewing people, like I think is great, and like we need more of that. Then really thank you very much for doing what you're doing, and keep on moving with that.
Thank you so much. So thanks everyone, and we'll see each other on our next episode in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching another episode with us. Don't forget that the GrapHER Club podcast is all about empowering and inspiring more women into Web3. You can retweet, reshare, subscribe, or like in both platforms X and YouTube this episode. This is the secret phrase for the POAP for today's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and bye bye!